Hi guys, welcome back to the Batterbox podcast.
Woo!
You guys, you don't know the amount of stress, planning, failure, planning has taken for this to happen. I am so hyped. Ooh.
Yes, definitely. You should be happy about that.
I am so glad that this is happening because I was like, if this doesn't happen, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm like, class, no more podcasts and live show. Well, anyway, guys, welcome back to the Batterbox podcast. This is where we talk about everything and anything. Don't forget, if you are listening to this, go on YouTube to subscribe to the YouTube channel on Batterbox, same name, and then watch all my series. Like, watch all the videos, but specifically watch my own series. Do you understand? Okay.
Come on, you gotta watch everything, not just yours. You gotta watch everything.
I told them to watch everything, but watch my own. Ensure that you watch my own. So today we're going to be taking my series from the YouTube to the podcast, and we're going to be talking to Brother Mike.
Hello, hi guys. Yeah, I've done a couple of videos actually, so you guys probably watch that as well. We're here.
My own is fine. Just watch my own. That's all.
You just said you not watch that. Was that what you said? Come on.
Yeah. Okay. So the Jackpot series is all about traveling, information, things that you need to know, what you need to do, how you need to do it, and how you need to literally settle from one country to another country. That's Jackpot in Lagos or Jackpot in Nigeria means to run away, right? It means to disappear. So to move from one country to another country. So today we're talking to Mr. Mike, or Brother Mike, as you all know him. He's been in the America for over 15 years. And he's been able to build like a comfortable life for himself.
No, I wouldn't call it comfortable. I mean, it's just hustle. Everybody here hustles, but
see,
whatever.
It is my show, so I'm going to say what I want to say. When you say what you want to say. So he's been able to build a comfortable life for himself, and he's going to be telling us everything that we need to know about how to get to point A to how to get from point A to point B, or how he was able to get from point A to point B. And I'll also be sharing a few of my I know that I'm not I've not stayed in the abroad for 15 years, but at least my few years of experience should count for something, especially if you're just moving to the abroad. Like, okay, this intro is like 3 minutes, so let's just start. Brother Mike, tell us about yourself and how you moved.
Okay, cool. Thank you for having me. Again, comfortable is relative. What that means is everybody's hustling. So when you leave Nigeria, you come here, you have to hustle. There's a lot of challenges that somebody has to go through. There's this conception about people in Nigeria that when you leave, they believe, you made it, you succeeded. But in reality,
pick money from the tree, or they put the money on the floor, so you just go and pick it. Like,
no, trees here, there's no growing on trees. You just have to hustle. A lot of hustle.
So how was moving like? Why did you move, and how did you move, and what made it possible for you to move?
Yeah, so moving involved going to the U.S. Embassy at Eleke Crescent. This was back when I was actually finishing high school. So left, and then back then there were no appointments. You didn't have to make an appointment. It's I believe it was Wednesday. Every Wednesday was student day. So every Wednesday you just go to the embassy and you line up. Then you could have multiple passports. I probably shouldn't be saying this publicly, but the passport system and the Nigerian immigration system wasn't tight either. So you'd have somebody that go in as Lawal Adenekon today. He doesn't get a visa. Tomorrow he comes back with another passport, and he comes back as Lawal Wasiu. So there were a lot of things that were being done. There was no fingerprinting. There was no student exchange visitor information service. It was very, very easy, very lax. Same for the UK too. Going to the UK was so easy. Now things are very, very difficult.
Now UK is still relatively easy, but it's way much more expensive. It's like super expensive. You need to have at least 10 million naira to move to the UK right now.
And I don't think they give scholarships either. Back when I moved, there were a lot of my friends that went to the UK, and they had several scholarships. Like the UK was giving scholarships.
So
today there are no scholarships.
Did you move based on scholarship? Like, did you have a scholarship, or did you have money waiting for you there?
No, not at all. I mean, some people did. A few people did. There are very few schools that were giving scholarships, even at that. So you need to have a very, very good You have to take the SAT for the US
Mm-hmm.
anyway. You have to take the SAT and get SAT scores. I mean, then Nigeria, man, there were a lot of things going on. People were running things, runs in SAT. All of that can be done now. So, like we say generally on most of the shows we're doing here, timing is everything. Everything's about timing in life in general. So
So, like,
that time was very good.
first 5 years of moving to the abroad, what would you say? What challenges did you face?
The first 5 years, the most important thing was just the language. A lot of people say, well, so a lot of people say, like, you are going abroad and you need to go to an English speaking country. So,
Mm.
personally, I mean, I'm behind the US, you're in the UK, and a lot of people assume that because you are going to the US, for example, they speak English and you can speak the English. But the US American English is actually quite different from Nigerian English, number one. And two, the accent at which you speak is very, very different. So you
True.
come from Nigeria, you are speaking very, very fast, and people don't understand what you're
They don't,
saying. What do you say?
they don't understand what you're saying. Yes.
Yeah, they know what you're saying. And you think, I'm speaking
Right.
English now. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So what else did you experience?
So number one was the language. Number two was the financing. You have to work like for everything. Back in Nigeria, parents would give you money for this, money for that. But when you're on campus, you couldn't really walk out of campus. So
Did you
you
have
have to find ways.
did you have to do like any odd jobs or anything like?
Uh, Everybody did odd jobs now. How can you not do an odd job? Yeah. Yeah. But again, when I came, like you you could walk outside school. Right now, most of these places they don't allow you walk outside of the school. You have
No,
to
I,
walk outside school.
in the UK you can do 20 hours outside of the school. I think
Oh
20 hours
wow.
if you come in as a student. You can't do
Okay.
more than 20 hours a week as a
Hmm.
student inside or outside of the school. I think
Oh
that's
wow.
what I don't know, but I think I'm 90% sure that you can only
Yeah.
do a maximum of 20 hours.
Yeah, but there are a lot of Niger connections now, which even then they were more so. So when you come to US, a lot of people do all the security jobs,
Mm-hmm.
odd jobs. I mean, sometimes you work in the factory, sometimes you work under the table. But there are a
I,
lot of Nigerians in the diaspora.
I think it's still the same thing. So let's go. Let's just jump into it. Racism. Did you ever experience racism? Did you, and how were you able to?
Oh, okay, okay, yeah, that's a sensitive issue. I think racism is everywhere.
Is one of
Yes, I did.
talk about, or people still shy away from, or people don't want to talk about because they don't want to like they are what will I call it? It's such a sensitive topic, but it's something that nobody is prepared for. And especially people who are moving to another country, they don't even understand the different types and the different
Mhm,
forms at which you can get racism. So apart from the fact that somebody can come to you and say, "Oh, you black bugger, you this,"
mhm.
which is very direct, there are other ways where you can get like the subtle.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know what you mean. So, an example was when I was in school, there were three of us. There was me, Niger guy. Then there's another guy who's from Zambia. There's another guy who's from Kenya. And
Mm-hmm.
those guys, they are obviously, of the darker shade. The professor did not like understand that they were not the same. I know it sounds stupid, but he could not tell them apart. So it's weird. So that was an example of racism whereby, so this is important because the
From
grade
two
for
different
one person, say that
mm-hmm.
again.
We are from two different countries.
Yes, yes. But the grade from one person is given to another. So it's like you're Mike, all right. So he gives me your grade and he gives you my grade. And you should never have done that because yeah.
If if I were the dumb guy, I'll be like, yes, I don't mind. I don't mind that form of racism. If
Yeah, but he did it repeatedly. It wasn't just one thing. So maybe that's not racism, but I don't know what that is. But that's one example. I've been called the N-word a couple of times. Then also there's another type of racism, especially in the US, and
mm,
that's Black African Americans who think that you from Nigeria or from Ghana, wherever you are coming to take the entitlement. So what happens is, so you have a lot of African Americans who don't like blacks from Africa. So you experience some kind of, I won't I don't know if that's racism per se, but it's a bit of discrimination too. And there's also, with the US being a melting pot, you have Chinese who don't like blacks, you have Mexicans who don't like black. So it's
Mm-hmm.
all over the place.
So let me tell you something. So moving from Doha, moving from Qatar to the US, I will not say that there is not racism or I did not experience racism in Doha, but it is so. Oh, but it is not.
Yeah.
It is not as pronounced.
Yeah.
I can feel it.
What is going on?
But it is not as pronounced as right now that I can feel it, I can see it, I experience it, like I know what, like it's in my face. Do you understand? So even though I would say, oh, I've lived in the abroad for this or so amount of time, I understand what is coming, and I feel like in the UK it is way more pronounced. It is in my face. It is in my face. It is directly, indirectly. Are you still there? Jesus Christ, I'll kill this one.
Okay, good. I'll cut off though.
Yeah. Okay, so for me, even though I've lived in Doha for like a few years, and
where's Doha? You keep talking about Doha. Like, where's that?
Doha is Qatar. Qatar is Doha. That's like in the Middle East. So even though I've lived in the Middle East for a few years, and I did experience racism to a certain level, even though it was not as direct, it was subtle, it was more of a pay grade situation. So in Qatar, something happens. So if you have like a British passport or whatever passport you have that is not African, you get paid more than you get paid if you come with a Nigerian.
Hold on. So we have the same academic qualifications, but because of the passport you have, you're going to be paid differently.
Yes, sir.
Oh my God, that makes no sense.
Makes no sense. But yeah, there's in Doha, in Qatar, we have like this subtle here and there. You feel the racism. Do you understand what I mean? You feel, but it's not in your face. Like it's not. But in the UK here, man, I have experienced everything. I have experienced the one in my face. I've experienced being called the N word. Thank God nobody has called me the B word to my face.
Wow.
Do you understand? Like people tell you, oh, very put together for a black girl.
Put together for a black girl. I think I've heard that said to other people too. I don't know what that means really. That's messed up.
It's not a compliment. You are insulting my race. You're insulting my whole race. You're not. I'm not supposed to feel good if you say that. Then I've had like when I go into a particular shop and I do not want to. I so want to call them out, but I'm trying not to be trashy. Put yourself together. But like going into a particular shop and every time I walk into that store, like it just starts beeping. Every time I'm trying to come out from it just starts. Do you know what I mean?
You mean like the entry or the exit, the door to come in and out?
When you finish shopping. And you're going out with your cart and everything. For some unknown reason, it has happened to me where this black girl was going out just before me and then it's beeped. So they had to check over. I think I was still shopping, checked all her things, and it was my turn also. People had been going out then. And then boom, all of a sudden it's beeping. I'm like, okay. So is it that the sensor or the whatever is sensitive to? Is it that they've programmed it that every time you see anybody with it's just...
No, I think there's someone who is monitoring, like the security guy.
Let's not call out that security man. Let's not call that man out. So yes, racism is something that is a shock, and you need to be able to like what's the Yoruba word? You need to be able to digest it in a way that you don't cause trouble or you don't make it a big issue, because then when they explain the situation to you, they will gaslight you and make it seem like you're the one who is sensitive or you're the one who is reacting out of tune to something that it was supposed, like it's my job, it's something that I'm supposed to do, but like other people, why are you doing it to only the black folks? Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good one. The I've experienced particularly is I think when I finished my schooling and I started working, you would have people come to me and say, "Wow, your parents in Africa must be so lucky." I'm like, "Oh, what are you talking about?"
Why?
Like, they are lucky that you are in America. Oh my God, and you're making dollars, whatever. So it's kind of like, wow, you're so lucky. Your parents are so lucky, you know.
Let me tell you something that happens to me every time when people will come to me like randomly. They'll be like, "So how much is one Qatar reals to 1 naira?" I'm like,
Oh, wow. Oh,
so
okay.
before before I knew that this was they're trying to see how much you earn in
Uh-huh.
your country, like back to see how much is going to be in your country. I used
Mm-hmm.
to be, oh, this is how much
I know you are. Yeah.
until someone told me, nope. They are trying to see how much is so that they will say, in this person's country, like, do you understand?
Yeah,
Race-
that's a form of they call it uh, like implicit bias, or is it microaggression, whereby someone is indirectly discriminating against you,
Do you
you know?
understand?
Yeah.
It is one of those things that you have to have a thick skin for if you're ever going to move to the abroad. You need to be ready for racism. You need to be ready to deal with it. You need to be ready to deal with the subtle shade. You need to be ready to deal with the micro aggression.
Aggression.
You need to be able to deal with direct racism. You need to learn how to handle yourself in public. You need to be ready to walk away from situations where you know that even though I am right, but if we start this argument, it's just me. It's
Mm-hmm.
me who's going to harm, or it's me who is going to. You're not going to be at fault, but it's you is because at the end of the day, your
You take
record.
the fault. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
being able to handle racism
Mm-hmm.
or being ready for it. Don't be like some of us who just went in and then he slapped us in the face. But being ready that this is going to happen
Mm-hmm.
is one of the key ways in which you survive living in the abroad. And I think it happens to you even if you live in the abroad for 30 years to come. Even if you stay in the abroad for 50 years, you will still experience racism. The only thing that will change is the more successful you get, the less they'll be able to do it to your.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get what I mean? Because if you see,
Mm-hmm.
example now, if you see me pulling up in a Range Rover 2023, even
Mm-hmm.
if you're racist, bitch, you will shut up. Do you get what I mean?
Ouch. Yeah, it does get better. And to your point though, people like idiots are born every day. They are idiots every day. They are morons every day. And sorry to kind of talk about Trump. I don't want to make this about Trump, but I felt like Trump empowered a lot of those people. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
them came out more. They were bolder, and they were able to just say crap to people. I've had people tell me, "Wow, your English is very good." Wow, like you are so smart. I'm like, what is that supposed to mean? Like, it's just soft undertones, which sometimes you just have to kind of deal with. Yeah.
I think that if you're coming to the abroad, generally, just know that some people don't have sense. Common
People
sense,
everywhere don't have sense in
common
general.
not
Abroad or no abroad.
common sense is not common, and then reduce your what did they call it? Reduce your expectations to how smart people will put you down. People who should know better. Do you get what I mean?
Mhm.
Generally,
Yeah. People should know better. Like my professor in college I was talking about, who didn't know two different people.
dumb professor. I did
Very
dumb.
dumb.
Okay. Thank you guys so much for watching. This has been another short, beautiful episode. We bring this to you. We try with the podcast. We try to stay consistent, right?
I think so. Yeah, I would agree with that.
Now,
Yeah, if you're not watching, follow us on the Battlebox podcast, wherever you
now
get your podcast.
maybe we'll stay consistent for you guys. What can I say? We'll catch you guys soon, next episode. But until then, go to the YouTube channel and watch all my series.
Watch every series.
And then when you're done watching my own, then watch every series.
And please subscribe if you're not subscribed. Really appreciate that.
All right, brother Mike. Let's do this again more often.
Yes, certainly.
Oh,
Thank you so much. That's what our time differences. Another thing of Japan is people are in different time zones. So yeah.
we'll make it happen.
All right. Thank you guys.
Thanks,
Thanks.
guys.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks, Adela. Bye.